Right, welcome. So today we'll be talking about completing the square. Well, a quick disclaimer before we start, I am not a professionally trained teacher. I'm just a student who's sharing what I know, and hopefully it'll be able to help you out. So let's just start by explaining what a perfect square is. So I got a few examples here. So perfect squares, right? When you expand them out, basically they also have squares in them. So basically, to understand what they are, I'm just going to do a visual representation of what they are. So let's just take x plus 2 squared, for example. Now for the x square, it's basically like a square with sides of x. When you multiply them together, you get x squared. Then for the 4, it's basically just like a square made up of 4 bits. So for 4x, basically just fills up the rest of the part to make it a circle. This side is x and this side is 1, so together they make x. And if you add up all the parts together, you still get x squared plus 4x plus 4, which is the same answer as here. Also, for reference sake, I'm just going to call this term a, this term in here c. So for like this is a squared, and for like this, it's c squared. For the middle term, I'll call it b. So something you can probably piece together from these two examples here is that c equals to b over 2. Remember that. This will come in very handy. Without further ado, let's start our first example, how to complete a square. Now we have an expression here. How do we complete it? Now, usually what I do is I do everything on one side, but if you're still trying to understand how to do it, you can bring over what you don't want to the other side. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to bring my 7 over, and since I know that my c equals to b over 2, I can write this as my x squared plus 6x plus my c, which is b over 2, so it's 3 squared, equals to 7 plus 3 squared. You must also, whatever you add on one side, you must also add on the other side, or you change the whole meaning of the equation. So after I've done this, I can now write this in the other form, which is x plus 3 squared equals to 7 plus 9, which is 16. And then from here on, you can just go and solve it. Yeah? But for now, I'm just showing you how to perfect square it. Second example, x squared plus x plus 1 equals to 0. Alright, so same thing as just now. I'm going to bring everything that I don't want over. I want to find my c, which my c is b over 2, so it's just half square. Yeah? Equal to negative 1 plus half square. So I can write this now as x plus half square equal to negative 1 plus 1 quarter, and that will give me negative 0.75. Now we know from this that you cannot square root a negative number, so for this one there's actually no real solution. Got it? Right, next example. 3x squared minus 9x plus 2 equals to 0. Right? For you to be able to perfect square, your coefficient in front of the x square has to be equal to 1. So to perfect square, all we need to do is to factorize out the 3. Alright, after we've done that, we can now perfect square this. So now I didn't bring over any of the numbers, but it's okay, you can just pretend they're not there. So this will be 3 times x squared minus 3x, when our c will equal to negative 3 over 2. So we just write it as negative 3 over 2 squared plus 2 thirds. And since now my number is on this side, and since I've added this thing, I've also have to minus it, because now they're on the same side. Okay. Oh yeah, these are all parts of one term. So after we've done this, we can now write this in the form I want it to be, which is x minus 3 over 2 square. And then we can add these two terms at the back together, which is something like negative 1.58, a lot of 3's behind, equal to 0. After that, I expand everything back, which will give me negative 4.75 equal to 0. You can either leave it like this, or you can leave it like this if you want to. Alright, okay, so that does it for today. I hope you have a better understanding on how to complete the square now. So thanks for watching.